The president-elect, with people on his transition team, with people close to him. And any time your name comes up, any American's name comes up in one of these wiretap conversations, it's supposed to be masked. Instead, in this case, reports were written, not only listing the names of these people, but what they heard in the conversations, like if so-and-so is going to meet this person is going there, this person is doing that. All that information was laid out, and then it was disseminated to so many people in the intelligence community, but this had no intelligence significance at all. This was personal information which was being disseminated, and that would include people in the White House getting it. And again, on
Stop.
there...
That would include people in the White House getting it. Is that not what he said? Remember, there were also leaks. Keep it right there. Remember, there were also leaks about conversations that the president had with certain heads of state. Remember that stuff being leaked out? The president of Mexico, I think it was, the prime minister of Australia, if memory serves. And that information somehow got out. The Michael Flynn information got out. And this is my question. The NSA, the CIA, the FBI, these professional intelligence and law enforcement organizations, for the most part, they really have no reason to do most of this. But an opposition political party does. And that's why my antennae are up. I don't care how much I'm attacked. I started this 3 weeks ago. We wouldn't even be here. There wouldn't even be congressional hearings. We wouldn't even have any of this information. And they thought they could figure out a way to embarrass me or threaten me. I don't get embarrassed, and I don't respond well to threats. If I'm doing the right thing and I believe what's being done is wrong, I don't tolerate bullies. I don't give them an inch. And so this is very, very important. Go ahead.
Devin, I have not seen it. Devin went through it in detail with me, though, and we've only gotten a small amount. This was given to him by somebody on the inside. Okay. In response to the hearing the other day. What I've said from the start is the president overplayed his hand or he overstepped the information available. But I have felt all along there were investigations going on. These could have been legitimate investigations, legitimate surveillance, but the information taken from that was used illegally and improperly and disseminated by people in the intelligence community by being leaked out to the media and maybe given to other people as well. And so the president had a very legitimate case to make. He overstepped it by saying that President Obama ordered wiretapping. That we don't know, but we do know that, to me, this is shameful to have this type of information. And again, it almost like the way Devin described it to me, it's like a private eyes report. Donald Trump is going to meet this person on this day. This person is doing that. This one is moving here. This one's doing that. And it was like, first of all, who gave the order to unmask that, to make that known? Who gave the order to distribute it out? Because it goes against violations. This isn't like one report. We're talking about many, many, many.
Yeah.
This was done.
A lot of
so
stuff.
there was definitely an attempt to find, and to do this on the incoming president.
Okay, but,
I just can't
bottom
imagine
line, Congressman, would I be wrong in saying that the Obama administration surveilled the Trump transition team?
I would say from all I know, you're at least 99.5% accurate, and probably 100%.
I knew something stunk here. I knew something smelled here, and I would go further than him. This is a different part. Remember, there's two things going on here. There's that Russian investigation. Now, as far as Russia goes, again, I have to keep saying it, Putin is a contemptible dictator. He's a despot. He's a killer. That's what he is. And yes, he tried to influence our elections. There's no question about it. But he failed because the American people are smarter. The American people know better. Now, that said, there's an ongoing investigation, as we learned Monday at the hearings, a counterintelligence investigation involving the Trump campaign and the Russians. There have been leaks out of this, too. There have been leaks out of this, too. And what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is wherever those chips fall, those chips fall. But we need to get to the bottom of what's been done to our intelligence agencies, our law enforcement agencies. This is the latest piece of information we have from Nunes. I went through all those articles and those leaks about FISA courts, about the spreading of information and so forth and so on. We need to get to the bottom of that, too. We need to get to the bottom of that, too. The question is really quite simple. Did the Obama administration politicize federal intelligence and law enforcement activities? Did the Obama administration attempt to interfere with a presidential election? These are perfectly legitimate questions. I know the Russians tried to interfere with the presidential election. My question now is, did the Obama administration, through these various entities, try to do the same thing? And we have a right to know. And remember that rookie congresswoman, the questions she was asking. And remember how odd and deceptive the FBI director's answers were when it came to sharing sensitive information about this ongoing investigation. He waits 8 months and only under pressure when he says typically it's quarterly. Every 3 months he informs the leaders of Congress, the Justice Department on a more frequent basis, the Director of National Intelligence, and certain segments within the National Security Council that reports to the President of the United States. They need to get a hold of these daily intelligence briefings and see what's in there in part, in my opinion. One more piece on this. There's a new CNN report out there, and they're pushing it and pushing it and hounding it and hounding it. Somebody from the FBI apparently leaked to CNN. They leaked to CNN and saying, hey, look, we have information that suggests that Trump associates actually did coordinate with the Russians. So now we're supposed to genuflect, pivot again. The director of the National Intelligence, Clapper, who said about a little less than 3 weeks ago on Meet the Press, there's no evidence of a collaboration between the Trump campaign and the Russians. Now all of a sudden, whoops, over here. Okay, so listen to this report. See if you find anything odd about this report. Go.
The FBI has information that indicates associates of President Donald Trump communicated with suspected Russian operatives to possibly coordinate the release of information damaging to Hillary Clinton's campaign, U.S. officials told us. FBI Director James Comey made his bombshell announcement, as you'll recall, Monday before Congress that the FBI is investigating the Trump campaign's ties to Russia. So the FBI is now reviewing this information, which includes human intelligence, travel, business, and phone records, as well as accounts of in-person meetings, according to the officials we've spoken with. And the information is raising the suspicions of FBI counterintelligence investigators that the coordination may have taken place, though officials we've spoken with cautioned that this information was not conclusive and that this investigation is ongoing. The FBI would not.
I wrote these words down, as you could see. Possibly, suspicion, may have, cautioned. What kind of a news report is this? Sounds like a left-wing hack conspiracy. Possibly, suspicion, may have, cautioned. Now, maybe it's all true, but maybe it's not. This is exactly the kind of reporting that I'm talking about. Here you have a selective leak that's intended not to correct the record, like the information presented to Chairman Nunes. You have a selective leak that's intended to create an impression, right? Possibly, suspicion, may have, cautioned. Imagine if I had said that 3 Thursdays ago. Oh my God, what the guy's nuts. Possibly, there's no evidence. She has no evidence whatsoever. Possibly, suspicion, may have, cautioned. Go ahead.
A comment, nor would the White House, though Trump officials have denied there is any evidence of collusion, Anderson.
So, I mean, Evan, this gives more insight into what Director Comey knew when he spoke on Monday.
Well, that's right, Anderson. If you recall, in addition to Comey saying that the investigation includes looking at connections of Trump associates, he also explained what it means that the investigation is actually being done. Take a listen.
Don't you need some action or some information besides just attending a meeting, having been paid to attend a conference, that a picture was taken, or that you traveled to a country before you're open to investigation for counterintelligence by the FBI?
The standard is, I think there's a couple different at play, a credible allegation of wrongdoing or a reasonable basis to believe that an American may be acting as an agent of a foreign power.
One law enforcement official said that the information in hand suggests, quote, people connected to the campaign were in contact, and it appeared that they were giving the thumbs up to release information when it was ready. But other U.S. officials who we spoke to said it's premature to draw that inference from the information that they've gathered so far, since at this point it's largely circumstantial. The FBI cannot yet...
Okay. It's largely circumstantial. One leaker says this, another leaker says this, the anonymous sources say that. What do you get out of this story? Is there some new information, anything concrete or substantive? You don't get a thing. No, maybe it all turned out to be true. I have no idea. But this is what passes for reporting? That's not reporting. That's a joke. Now, Sean Spicer, the president's spokesperson, he's asked about this, and here's what he has to say. Go.
Does the president, now that we know that there is an ongoing investigation by the FBI, does the president stand by his comments that he's not aware of any contacts that his campaign associates had with Russia during the election?
Yes.
Okay, and then the second one is, has anyone from the White House...
Well, can I just amend the first?
Sure.
Obviously, just to be clear, I know that I'm trying to think through this for a second because obviously General Flynn,
Right.
but again,
During the campaign,
right,
before the election.
and I'm not aware of any at this time, but even General Flynn was a volunteer of the campaign. And then obviously there's been this discussion of Paul Manafort, who played a very limited role for a very limited amount of time. But beyond, hey, Jonathan, hold on. Can you stop interrupting other people's questions? Okay, Jonathan, somebody's asking a question. It's not your press briefing. Julie's asking a question. Please calm down.
And when Julie speaks, you listen. Isn't it interesting the press does not aggressively ask the president's spokesperson about daily intelligence briefings? Do they know anything about the prior administration's conduct? Does any of this concern them? Are they going to do a top-down review? The President of the United States is the executive branch, you know. Are they going to do a top-down review to see how these different agencies and departments have been conducting themselves? There's this guy, Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff is the ranking Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. You're well aware of him. He's been jumping up and down that Chairman Nunes didn't first come to him and the Democrats and share the information. The reason is Chairman Nunes is not a fool and Adam Schiff is a hack. That information would have leaked out and been spun. He has conducted himself horribly, that man. He is a Democrat special pleader. He's a front man. He's a straw man as far as I'm concerned. Nunes, unfortunately, earlier today apologized and said, apparently in a meeting, he should have shared it with the Democrats. But the Democrats, as with the Democrats on the Benghazi committee, are just running interference. They're just tackling. They don't want to get to the bottom of this. They don't even care about potential police state tactics that have been used in the course of the last several months, including after the election. Then you have John McCain. John McCain out there saying that what Nunes did proves that we need a special committee, a select committee to investigate these things. John McCain is the Democrats' favorite senator. He is bizarre. All Nunes did was inform the President of the United States about what was in these intelligence reports created by agencies that report to the President of the United States, unrelated to the Russian investigation that the FBI is involved in. Totally unrelated to that. Related to things that were said about his family. Maybe that he said, that his transition team said, to alert the President of the United States what's going on in his departments and agencies. There's nothing wrong with that. There's this Dana Bash on CNN, and I watched their little roundtable of 5 of them, all leftist hack journalists going on, and said, it's not Mr. Nunes' job to alert the President of the United States. That's an oversight committee. Excuse me, so-called journalist. The chairman of a committee gets information, apparently from a whistleblower in one of these departments and agencies, and says the president's family, the president's transition team, the president's transition team's discussions about the incoming administration's policies and so forth are all over the government. It would be nice if the president knows about it since it's his executive branch. Well, no. They're supposed to do oversight. He is doing oversight. What, he has to wait for Mr. Schiff to give permission to inform the president? He has to get the FBI's permission, the FBI director, who's now the most powerful man in the United States for some reason? Wait for him? That would be a disaster. Nunes conducted himself perfectly fine, perfectly ethically. I just wanted to underscore that point. That's it.